Welcome back to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. To be part of our super community and find out more about Eliances, visit www.Eliances.com. Now, back to our super host, David Kogan, founder of Eliances.
That's right. And what an incredible day today it has been when we started off the show with the co-founder of the company that became Redbox. And we just had on Barry Goldwater Jr., the former U.S. Congressman. And by the way, thank you for the feedback we continue to have from having the founder of Kayak on. Make sure you go to Eliances.com, Eliances.com, because we have Kara Golden. She is the founder and CEO of Direct Source Wealth. And what's amazing about them is they really are your partner in building a time freedom. Make sure you go to directsourcewealth.com/hero. Go to that site because you're going to learn some secrets when you go there. Or you can call her at 877-756-8323. Now, Kara, let's talk really about what people do with the time that you help them get back from passive investing. And really, it's that passive investing with Direct Source Wealth. You have some stories I hope you could share with us. In fact, let's talk about one of them, the married man who was laid off from his job. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that's actually kind of one of my favorite stories, because this gentleman had been spending his whole life doing all the right things, right, in quotation marks, right? Working hard, saving, building his 401k, working hard, saving, building his 401k. And then he got fired in his 50s and was having a really hard time finding a new job, and came to us. And we found out about it because he had initially pledged an investment and said he was going to have to pull it out. When we started talking about why, we came to understand that. And in one strategy session, we were able to sit down and reposition what he had saved and worked so hard for in his 401k to completely replace his income. So he went from, oh my God, I'm out of a job and I have a daughter who's starting college and what am I going to do, to essentially, hey, I'm independently wealthy and I can go visit my daughter and I can hang out. And there were a lot of things, like he applied for a college loan for his daughter and he wrote on the college loan, unemployed. And we went back and said, you're not unemployed. You're a professional investor. And he got denied the first time, and we kind of helped him go back and reapply, and then he was approved. So there were a lot of things just helping him shift his mindset as well as position the assets. And now he lives the life of a passive independent investor who, became independently wealthy in his 50s instead of a guy laid off in his 50s.
Truly a blessing in disguise. I mean, for this, you turned around his entire life. And you know what? You probably don't know, but you also gave him additional years because of all that stress that could have continued to cause him if he wasn't with you.
Right.
I mean, so this is, phenomenal. And so how does that type of meeting go then when they meet with you, particularly like with him when he met with you, of what to do and how to allocate the funds that he had or has access to? Was that how that went?
Yeah. So these are typically phone conversations, and we're not professional financial advisors, so we can't recommend, hey, do this, do that, whatever. But what I've learned to do over the years is listen and ask the right questions to get people thinking on their own about what they need to do. And so it's really about unlocking inside of someone what they already know, and asking them the right questions to help them figure that out. And then we obviously have a number of investments that we make available, and they can choose which ones will help fit that strategy and create the income and cash flow that they need to achieve. So typically it's about an hour of conversation, followed by a break of a week or so where I literally just think and kind of let ideas percolate, additional questions and whatnot, and then usually a follow-up session about a week later for another hour. And in that amount of time, we're quite frankly often able to help someone completely shift their paradigm and therefore shift their life and really become an independently wealthy passive investor instead of a working Joe.
And I think that's important to know is it wasn't where he was investing and then had to go ahead and start managing all those investments as far as the calls that would come in from the apartment complex that he may have been involved with or the homes or anything else. It truly was something that was passive, which then gave him time to do other things too and probably spend time with his family, right?
Exactly. He was able, and of course, he had, like I said before, a daughter going off to college. So, he's able to go visit her maybe more than she wanted. I don't know when she's off at college, but, they're able to go visit and spend more time with family. And he actually, as many people do, ended up starting up his own business. So I find a lot of the time that when we give people financial freedom, or I should just even say give them, when we assist people in finding their own financial freedom, because this really is all about you as the investor. But when we help you get there, most people end up either doubling down and working more or leaving and starting their own profession. Rarely do our investors just stop contributing to society, but they get to do the things that make their hearts sing. And that is when people really are ultra productive and make the biggest contribution to the world. And in some small way, I get to feel like, I was part of that, which is really incredible.
Oh, absolutely. And I wouldn't say a small way. I mean, you helped. That's phenomenal. And we're talking with Kara Golden, the CEO and founder of Direct Source Wealth. Make sure you go to directsourcewealth.com/hero or call 877-756-8323 because you're listening to me, David Kogan, host of the Eliances Hero Show. Make sure you go to Eliances.com because we'll also have the information on there of ELIANCES.com, the only place where entrepreneurs align. Let's talk about, Kara, another story because these are just great. Let's talk about the young couple from Direct Source Wealth that Direct Source has actually helped. And they were a pilot, and I believe that she was also a vet. Talk to us about that.
Yes. Oh, yeah, they're very sweet. I adore them. So they're still working on their strategy. Unlike the previously mentioned gentleman, they're younger. They didn't have, a huge 401k, all saved up to just be able to reposition. And so we're helping them build wealth and get them to their goal. But, I like to understand why our investors want to invest with us and why they want to make money. Most people don't want to make money just because they like making money. There's some purpose that drives them. And this couple was really, really neat. He's a pilot. She's a vet. And what drove them was the ability to become independently wealthy so that they could fly around the world when there were disasters like what we just had happen a year ago in Puerto Rico, and help rescue animals and service animals, and make their contribution in the world in that way. And to me, that's such a fun story because, quite frankly, that's not where I would do my service, right? Like, nothing against animals, but that's not what draws me, right? I have my nonprofits that I'm passionate about, and everyone has their thing that they care about. But what's so great about our co-investment group is that I get to help them have more money so that they can go out and make that contribution in the world and save animals and help in communities that are in distress and adopt animals and get them repositioned into homes that can care for them. And I saw firsthand in Puerto Rico, where I live, how necessary that was. A lot of people packing, you're in a disaster zone, you're packing up and you're choosing between your kid and your dog gets left behind. And they want to swoop in and save those poor animals that really, really need help. And so, when I look at a deal, when I underwrite a deal, when I think about a deal, I think about them. And I think about how important it is that we find good deals, that we execute well, so that they can make the contribution they want to make in the world, and I can help another little dog or cat or whomever they're going to be serving.
That's great. We've got a little less than a minute left, but you know what, Kara? I want to just hear more stories, so we're definitely going to have you back on the next segment. So listeners, make sure you continue to stay tuned. But I need to ask you, though, what is really the best way to start investing, and how much do you need to save before you can become a client of Direct Source Wealth?
Yeah, so we do work with accredited investors, which means people have to be making either $200,000 a year of income or $300,000 as a couple. or have a savings, a net worth other than their home of $1 million. So it's not a small hurdle. We're not one of those, hey, you can start with no money, bad credit, that's just not who we are. You have to have been a hard worker and a serious saver. But if you've done that, you could start with as little as $50,000 investment with us. I know that's not a tiny amount of money. That was an accomplishment even getting there. But we can really help take people who've mastered that savings and working hard and take them to the next level.
Well, continue to stay tuned. Kara, you find a better way for your clients to invest and reach their financial goals. Kara Golden, founder, CEO of Direct Source Wealth. Make sure you go to directsourcewealth.com/hero. She can be reached at 877-756-8323. Stay tuned because we're going to hear some more just stories that we all could relate to in some way or another, or we may be right in that situation now. David Kogan with Eliances.
Welcome back to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. To be part of our super community and find out more about Eliances, visit www.Eliances.com. Now, back to our super host, David Kogan, founder of Eliances.
That's right. We're back, and I'm super excited because we're going to hear more from Kara Golden. And also, too, make sure you go to our website, Eliances.com, because we get feedback, which is just great, on when we had the co-founder of Make-A-Wish Foundation on. So make sure you go to Eliances.com. Well, we've got Kara Golden, as I mentioned, the founder, Direct Source Wealth. You can reach her at directsourcewealth.com/hero, or make sure you call at 877-756-8323, because it really is all about creating that time freedom. And how do we do it? What happens when we wait too long to do it? Well, make sure you go to directsourcewealth.com/hero. So, Kara, we were back and we were talking about just some of the stories of your clients and how Direct Source Wealth helped them and really changed their life. Let's talk about the pastor and his wife.
Yeah. So again, this is a kind of middle-aged couple. They were in their 40s. They'd been doing church planning locally throughout the U.S. and were pastoring a congregation, a very small congregation, and didn't have significant resources. But that was actually a really fun situation because we were able to strategize and do what's called a charitable remainder trust. So they had a couple of very wealthy people in their congregation who the congregation member needed to receive income while they were alive, but believed in the church planning efforts that the couple wanted to do internationally. And so they actually set up a trust that gave income from the cash flow of the real estate to the congregation member. And then upon her passing, the appreciation, the value, and the ongoing income transferred to the couple. And so they were, well, not to them directly, to the nonprofit, let me clarify. But so through the nonprofit efforts, they were then able to fund going out and doing church planning internationally, which was their heart and their calling to do. And so this was a situation actually where the couple had a mission and a vision, and they reached out to us even though, they didn't have they weren't accredited, they didn't have the income, they didn't have any of those things, but they had a drive, they had a desire. And we were able, again, through listening and through questions and figuring out and brainstorming, we were able to figure out that, hey, we could work with an accredited investor who could then gift them the money in their passing. And we were able to still get that objective accomplished, even though from their perspective it wasn't possible. And I can't say enough how many people don't get started doing something because they just can't see how to get there. And they want to know the whole roadmap before they get started. And it's sad because that just kills off so much possibility. What I love to do is sit down and have those conversations that are driven by a mission and a vision and then figure out how to make it happen. Start with the goal and then just figure it out. There's always a way, and we like to help people come up with that.
And Kara, we have a lot of people that they want to get involved, they want to go ahead and do it, and then suddenly they're just, a day goes by, which turns into a week, turns into a month, and turns into a year, and they go, oh my God, we haven't done anything now. Why is it though that you think people, wait? Because really, it's that precious time that you cannot get back.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, all I can do is really look at myself, and I certainly am guilty of, in my case, it's going to the gym, but procrastinating on the thing that I know I should do and want to do. I think we just, again, if we don't know how we're going to do it, or we can't see the end, sometimes it's really hard to take those baby steps. And actually, I use the gym analogy a lot with our investors, and I tell them, we're their financial personal trainer. It's our job to, make them do that extra sit-up, that extra push-up, to call in, to check on them. Once a year, we take our Golden Circle investors on a trip. This year, we're going to Moab, Utah, and we do things that are really fun and exciting, like, make sure we updated our wills, make sure that the trusts include the grandkids that were born in the last year, or 10 years if it's been that long since you've updated your trust, And so we really just help make sure people keep their financial house in order, because I think in general we tend to manage by what's urgent instead of what's important. And so when people get Direct Source Wealth on their team, they have us looking out for what's important to them, not just what's urgent. And we help make it urgent. We help keep it a priority so that they can get it done. Because even though everyone's got best intentions, there's just a lot to do in life, and it's easy to not get started.
There certainly is. So don't wait. Go ahead and make sure you go to directsourcewealth.com/hero or call now, 877-756-8323. Don't wait an hour, because an hour can turn into a day, can turn into a week, and so on. Call. There's no cost to call. Go to the website, directsourcewealth.com/hero, where you can download an incredible information for you to go ahead and get started, because you're listening to me, David Kogan, host of the Eliances Hero Show. Make sure you go to Eliances.com, ELIANCES.com, because we'll have also the information. If you go, I didn't have a chance to write it down, go to Eliances.com. Now, Kara, you not only just help couples, but this is really important, because tell me about the story we talked briefly about the single mom with 3 kids that basically brought tears to me.
Yeah, I mean, that one's so near and dear to my heart, being a single mom of 2 kids myself. There's a lot of women who made decisions in their relationships to support their spouse. And this isn't just women, but it tends to be the demographic, and find themselves with, either young children or, older children, and, no real income, and, wanting to stay home or wanting to be with their kids like they were before. And passive income is so huge for that. So, one of our clients came to me, and she had gotten a divorce settlement and, a lump sum of money. And, we spent a lot of time, and quite frankly, this one wasn't just a 1 or 2 hour thing. This took a lot of time to think about, because she didn't get a ton of money, but she got just enough. And if we used it right, then she was going to be able to, create the income she needed, and she was also going to have to cut some expenses. And we really had to, sharpen the pencils. But she was able to get to the point where her passive cash flow exceeded her expenses, so that she could stay home and raise her kids, which was really, really important to her. A lot of people don't realize this is not a game about just, hey, make me a bunch of money, make me a bunch of money. There's a lot of people out there who are quite content with, whether it's $30,000, $60,000, $100,000 a year, $500,000 a year, $1 million a year, whatever the objective is. There's a lot of people who just need to get to that point so they can do the thing they really care about and not have to worry about money all the time. And we were able to work with her and help her get herself there, which was probably for me the most meaningful one, just because, again, it's so close to my own home and my own heart, and why I do what I do is so I can be with my boys. And so we were able to help her do that and give her that goal back, give her that dream back, and her time back, as you mentioned.
And share with us again about the greatest advantage to passive investing and really what that means, because, we've got some listeners that are, thoroughly involved and know all the terms, and then others that are like, you know what, I'm working day to day. I may be a doctor right now. They're, a doctor making X amount and all that. But talk to us about the passive investing part.
Yeah. So the idea is essentially, we're a large-scale partnership. So, if you think about it on a really interpersonal level, and that's how we started, it'd be my uncle may have had some cash and I had some time, and so we went and did a deal together, right? He put up money and I put in effort and work, and we both profited from that. And so as Direct Source Wealth has grown, and we've gone beyond, friends and family and expanded that circle of friends and family to include, recent friends and family, we basically do the same thing. So you as the passive investor are putting up capital. You're not expected to do anything except for put up the capital, and be informed, be smart and clever and understanding. Not everything's perfect and easy, but there's not a lot of heavy lifting or action needed. Then we do the rest of it. We take care of finding the deals and putting the deals together and managing the deals, selling the deals, when figuring out the right time to do that, and taxes and finances and getting the loans, and we do all that so that you can just wire funds and make some good money.
Kara, great and incredible ways that you work hard to support your clients' goals. Go to Direct Source Wealth. They create the cash flow and growth that we need. Kara Golden, CEO and founder, DirectSourceWealth.com/hero. Go to 877-756-8323. This is David Kogan with Eliances.